Hey, what's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy KiteZz here with my lovely wife, it's just Alex.
What's up, peoples?
Hey, today we're here with the episode 2 of Netflix Pop the Balloon live. We got great news to say. All the complaints, all the backlash, all the heat that was given, it seems like Netflix heard it loud and clear. And I will say this episode, way better.
A lot more tolerable, easy to digest.
Very, very good episode. It wasn't as amazing or entertaining as regular Pop the Balloon, but I will say it was more tolerable for sure.
Yeah.
Right. First things first, they did not change the setting. They kept the setting the same. The big state, the person comes out through the back. The lineup stands there on both sides, and then they kind of spitball. They don't give the individual the mics, but Yvonne did a very good job. They actually respected the hostess this time.
Yeah.
She didn't say a lot, but she said enough.
Yeah, the contestants didn't speak over each other. It wasn't like super loud and rowdy. At times they did like crack jokes with each other and stuff like that, but it was respectful. It was cool. Right.
So we're gonna break it down because we can actually review it because it wasn't that it was good. It was a good show. I give it a 6, 7. I give it a 7.
I give it a 6.
Okay, that's fair. All right, so let's start it off. First things first. Yes, there was more influencers. It's Netflix. They're gonna have celebrities. There was actors from The Ultimatum. There's actors from UDY, like the cheater videos, influencers all over. But then they also had some people who are regular, like dentists, realtors, dog walkers, all that. Even the lineup of guys, they were their own personalities, so it wasn't jarring. Everybody didn't feel scripted. There was a lot that was said that we can say people say all over Pop the Balloons, but respectfully, they were good. The dialogue didn't feel cringy. A couple times it did, but most part it didn't. The first girl that came out was Angela, 25. She was in the dental field. She was on her way to getting her doctorates in the dental field, so she'd be a dentist.
My name is Angela. I am 25 years old. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I am in the dental field. I am going to be a dentist in 1 year, so you will be calling me Dr. Angie in a little bit.
I know that's right.
She's very nice. She came out very presentable in a nice dress. She didn't do too much in her introduction. All the guys were pretty receptive of her. There was a little bit of like stereotyping towards Yoruba people.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
I have a follow-up question.
Oh.
Yes.
What's your tribe?
I'm Yoruba.
Oh.
Ooh. Oh, dang.
No, you know.
If you're not,
What's wrong with Yoruba? What's wrong with
No,
that?
you know.
all my Igbo people, we outside. We okay. Okay, Igbo credit. Hey.
There was a contestant on there named Yinka. He was a Yoruba man. She, as soon as she found out where he was from, there was some kind of dialogue, like like Yoruba demons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is it about Yoruba people that you don't like?
Oh,
That's my first.
You
And I
want to
have
get
a
into
follow-up
this?
question. Yeah.
Ooh, I mean, there's like this thing going on the internet, you know, Yoruba demon.
Wait,
like,
what?
so,
What
you know,
Yoruba angel? Wait,
Angel.
Yeah.
You know,
But have you ever dated a Yoruba
I've
man?
dated an Igbo man. I've never dated a Yoruba man.
Oh, girl, so you just...
Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna pop him. Yeah, no, he's good. He's good.
I get the stereotypes. Stereotypes happen. Even as a Black American, we know stereotypes are gonna come. They spent a little bit of time on that, and everybody kind of like put their little 2 cents in. And, you know, Yinka tried to defend himself as best as he could. Then, surprisingly, so the people that felt like Arlette and BM, one of the reasons why people like Pop the Balloon is because they are Christians.
Yeah.
And Christianity is a conversation that is constantly brung up. A lot of people don't like religious talk, but a lot of Christians do like that because we believe that love and marriage is from God.
Yeah.
So it was surprising that Netflix allowed them to mention God, to mention religion on this episode.
Christianity specifically.
Yep. The only word they didn't use was Christ. They didn't say Jesus or Christ. You know, in the industry, they don't like that name. But they did say Christianity.
And like, what makes you happy as a person?
Not even just saying it because you mentioned that, but God really does make me happy. Sundays is so important for me to go to church and just reconnect with Him spiritually. So that's something that makes me happy.
And they did bring up religion, so it's gonna be there. I imagine more other religions will be on there because Netflix is not going to solely focus on Christians. That's fair. But it was nice to hear that, you know, there's people out there intentionally dating focused towards God. They focused on telling us about love a lot in this episode for sure.
Yeah.
They mentioned love.
All of their questions were very intentional. They asked a lot of good stuff pertaining to like their lifestyle, the way that they view things in life, like their goals. You know, the cliche, not cliche, but you know, the typical dating questions that we should have got the first episode, but we didn't.
Right. Now, Angela, one thing that she did do that we pointed out was she rejected a man for being reserved.
Okay. All right. Now, why did you pop his balloon?
Okay, so I popped your balloon because he seemed a little bit more reserved, you know, like I kind of like, you know, a guy that can just be like a little bit more of the life of the party. Like I'm a little shy sometimes, so I feel like we're both quiet. It's gonna not work.
But the ironic part was he didn't get to talk.
Yeah.
Like they didn't point to him, they didn't ask him nothing. So then it was just like, hey, you're reserved. And it's like, you don't know anything about his personality, but clearly he was interested in her.
Now, Floyd, is Angela somebody that you would holler at outside?
I say yes. It seemed like she take care of her skin. Nice, even complexion. She looks beautiful. Somebody I'll talk to.
Okay, he said shape, but a big.
Right? So that's a waste on her. She ended up going up with a guy. It came down to Javian or Yinka. Ironically, the Yoruba guy and Javian. Now, Javian is from UDY. He had an episode where he was trying to help UDY catch a girl cheating. So he was a decoy. So we knew him immediately because we react to UDY.
Yeah.
She ended up choosing Yinka, but she got rejected because there was a certain point in her segment when she was talking to Javian and she brung up and asked him, what is his zodiac sign?
Yeah, it makes sense. What's your sign?
What do I come off as?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too huge into astrology.
Okay, I
He said, what's your sign? I don't know what that means, but I feel like I should ask.
I should ask for the
I'm a
audience.
Cancer.
They said like, well, do you follow zodiacs? And she basically said, talk about it a little bit, but I don't care for zodiacs, but I still want to know your zodiac sign.
Yeah, because Javian was asking like, oh, what sign do you think I am? Type thing.
Right.
Yes, yeah.
So you can see Netflix kind of jumped on the fact that a lot of reactors make comments about the zodiac thing, and there was a lot of jabs towards the zodiac signs in that segment. So for the people who like zodiac signs, hey, y'all took some strays. For the people that are against it, they basically harped everything we kind of say. Yinka ended up actually popping her for the zodiac thing because it said it's very hypocritical for you to be talking about being a Christian and then you're using signs.
So it's gonna be a pop.
It's gonna be a pop.
What his sign was, and then again you're like, I'm not really into signs, so it's just like really contradicting. And as a Christian, for me, the horoscope thing is just like doesn't make any sense to me.
Which is very true. The Bible does speak against zodiac signs.
Yeah.
So she ended up not getting a match. Then they had this segment where they had like, I guess the
lounge segment.
Yeah, the lounge segment.
Yeah.
I get it, but
I feel like it's a play on whenever they would have contestants on Pop the Balloon, and once the show is over, they all kind of like link up after the show. They all hang out. They all go to the club. So there are people that are obviously not going to be able to get matches on the show. And those people that don't get matches can go to the lounge and chop it up. Or people that do get matches can go to the lounge and chop it up. So it's a like free game type thing.
The way they explained it,
yeah,
was very like, what is the point of this? Because if I come out looking for females and I get rejected by the females and the next guy gets rejected, what is the reasoning of me interacting this guy like we're gonna hook up unless that's what you do?
I feel like they're intentionally doing that because as you hear all the time when BM says, this is not Pop the Balloon or find friends, it's Pop the Balloon or find love. So I feel like Netflix is kind of making it more enticing, like more daring, like, oh yeah, like if you don't get a match, you're gonna be fine because anything that happens in this lounge stays on this lounge on Netflix. So whatever y'all do here, it's between y'all type thing. You know, obviously if we end up seeing it live, then it's live. But I don't know. I feel like they're making it kind of like.
I'm glad you said that because I feel like what they're gonna try to do. I have two theories, right? I feel like they're gonna try to do an episode where it's people that are attracted to both sexes, and they're gonna have a lineup of men and women, and just have them coming out, and then they get rejected, but then they can potentially talk to each other. I feel like one, I don't think they should do that. That would be a lot of backlash. Or two, they could use that lounge section besides having the couples date. there could be somebody out there who got rejected, and in that lounge, they could end up having that conversation and taking a match from them.
Yeah,
That's a theory. I could be wrong though. Do not take that as that's what they're doing. I think it's one of those two, but I did like how after the explanation sucked, but then they showed the actual matches talking.
Yeah.
I like that. So then we moved on to Casey.
I'm Casey, I'm 30 years old. I am from Charlotte, North Carolina originally. I work at a sports media company. Love my job, love what I do.
She said she was open to dating men 15 years older than her, but she was not really into younger guys. She got rejected by a guy who was 25. She said, yeah, she's not into dating younger guys, which caused Javian to pop, because Javian was like 23 or 24.
23, yeah.
Javian was the youngest, 23. So she said she's not into younger guys. She likes older men.
I'm under.
Oh, you're under. Okay.
Yeah, so,
You know, and I have skewed older in past relationships.
So what's your range?
The range, I would say I would go to probably 15 years older. And then under, I've never dated younger.
She looked like a very mature woman, like a businesswoman, so it made sense. As soon as she said that, she got popped from the younger guys, which is fine. But there was a moment where there's a contestant named Logan. Now, Logan was a 24-year-old male, and he was funny.
Yeah, Logan was my favorite.
Logan was the funniest guy on there. He had that very like skater dude type of energy.
He had really good charisma.
Right. Logan was cracking jokes. He was the only guy actively flirting.
Yeah, he was.
And honestly, the most positive thing I got from my last relationship was the opportunity to meet you right now.
Stop. What? Let's go.
He said that, everybody kind of went like, oh, okay, Logan, talk your talk. And she laughed and giggled at it. And all the guys took that as like, oh, she's feeling more of a connection with Logan. So everybody like chain popped her.
Yeah.
It came down to her with Logan and Casey being up there.
Yeah, I think Logan and Casey. Wasn't it somebody else? Oh no, it was Logan and Casey. Cause I'm like, didn't she have another match too?
She thought she did, but then they all popped because they're like, yeah, I feel like, they all kept saying, I don't feel the energy. I feel like your energy's with somebody else.
Yeah, they lobbed it to Logan.
Yeah.
They lobbed it, which is cool. It's fine. It is what it is.
So her and Logan end up going down, and the host says, okay, Logan, here's your chance. Shoot your shot. Boy, did Logan shoot. He shot from half court and he sunk it.
He made it.
He said the right things. He gassed her up. One of the things that caught it.
Stop.
Picking up some food for you, picking up some wine for you.
Okay.
We can stay at home, we can go out, but anything that we're doing is on me, all right? I got you.
He wooed her. She said, I don't normally date younger guys, but his charisma, the way he talked, his character, all that, it caught her eye. So Logan was the first match on Pop the Balloon live with Casey.
Yeah.
Then they had a contestant named Marco, who was a comedian, come out and fill in Logan's spot. 45 minutes is not enough time for that many contestants. So we get to the last person, which is Zaina, and she's from the show The Ultimatum.
Hey everyone, I'm Zaina. I am 34 years old. I'm an entrepreneur in the wellness space, and you know, I'm really just like looking for, I've had enough, when I say enough, lessons in the relationship space.
A problem she had, as soon as she came out, there is a contestant on there named Cinco, who was also an actor.
Not Ocho Cinco.
She saw Cinco.
Is this a reunion? Y'all know each other? What's going on?
And they were laughing, giggling, like, oh, I can't believe I ran into somebody that I know. This caused people to pop. Be like, oh, you know him. I don't want to. One dude popped and said, like, I don't want to C block. You know, that's my man's girl. I'm gonna let you get her.
Yeah.
It's Pop the Balloon, find love. You're in competition. You shouldn't be throwing lobs if you really want that person.
It was kind of a lose-lose anyway, because they had just got done hanging out the last week. They went to a party or something like that.
Yeah.
They were sipping tequila in the hot desert. My bad.
So it was revealed that her and Cinco had met and hung out in Coachella. That's why they knew each other. So after that point, it was really cooked. There was really no chance for the other guys. Cinco was also a very tall, dark-skinned, muscular man, so it was really over. The guy Marco that came out, his reason for popping Zaina.
This is Marco. I'm 29, so 34 isn't too bad. I'm looking for someone that can socialize with me, stay out late nights sometimes, and who knows, you know? Maybe if I leave you at a party, you can handle your own instead of following me to the bathroom.
But then he had to clear it up saying like, oh, I meant like leave her at a party amongst my friends so she can, while I can go use the bathroom or do whatever, and she can get along with my friends. That's what he said it was, which is like, okay, still, it's like, it still sounded crazy. You shouldn't be leaving your date anywhere. It doesn't matter if they're your friends or not until you guys are at that point. Everybody around her reacted to the leaving the party statement, and Yvonne even said something on the mic. Zaina didn't say anything. She just laughed.
Yeah.
Marco looks at her and pops and says, yeah, you're too judgmental for me.
Okay, we got to the bottom of that. All right, so Marco, go ahead and answer the question.
Wait,
I didn't like your judgment. I didn't like, you were a little judgy when I answered that.
Wait, what?
Okay, so.
Yeah, that was random. That was super random. It was weird. I was like, wait, what just happened? Why did he pop?
Yinka also, during Zaina's segment, said one of the corniest jokes he could have ever said on the show.
Yinka, tell us about yourself.
Yes, my name is Olik. I'm a legal drug dealer, so I'm a pharmacist.
And how old are you?
I always say that just because it's funny. Yeah, I'm 33.
Okay.
Yeah, so one thing we did note was what we did like about how the Netflix was running this one with Yvonne. After Zaina asked her question to the men were able to ask their own individual questions back to her, and it was very respectful. The conversation, the guys got to learn a lot about Zaina, and she got to learn a little bit about the men, but it kept it fresh instead of her just asking as many questions as possible. So we got to learn a lot about Zaina. It came down to Javian and Cinco. Now, even though Javian was the youngest, she kept having dialogue with him, talking about essentially like, I know you're younger than what I'll allow, but your confidence is what's having me keep you here.
Right, yeah.
So it came down to the question where she asked, I'm tired, I'm worn out, I come in essentially with my day. What would you do to get me out of this exhaustion or stress? Javian said basically he would take her out the city, take her to a hotel, get some wine, get some good food, and just have a chill time. Cinco said the same thing, but the thing that got Cinco the win, because his answer, let's be truthful, Cinco said a lot of nothing.
Yeah, he was saying word soup the whole episode.
Oh, I'll take you here, we can go do this, we can go hang out, or we can go do this, or I'll take the time, if you're the type of person that likes this, I'll ask you if you like this, we can go do some competitive sport or competitive thing together if you like it. She keyed in on the point that he asked her if she would like it, and that was ultimately what she decided. She liked a man that is going to essentially
be considerate.
So she ended up matching with Cinco. They were the second match of the show. Meanwhile, all this is showing the Love Lounge. Logan and Casey are kind of having their little talk date. They're chopping it up. They did this weird post-game interview with Casey and Logan, with them standing there, and they're like, how do you feel about being matched? And they're like, yeah, you know, like, she's everything I need, dude. Yeah.
Syracuse!
And then they sit there like this for like 3 seconds. It was weird. That was actually the last contestant, so they only got 3. I think, okay, 45 minutes is too short, because 3 was like, all right, we barely start getting...
Man.
They still at the end chose to do that awkward dance session, but we kind of just cut it off at that point now that we know it's going to be there.
I think it was a lot better than the first one, especially when you don't choose people that have main character syndrome to just take over the whole show. It was a lot more tolerable to watch. I know a lot of people didn't like the cursing in the last one. I think they cussed maybe twice. It was more tame this time. The host did really good this time. It seemed like she had more control over like what was going on with the contestants. It flowed a lot better. But yeah, like overall, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I'll watch another episode just to see where it goes. I would like to see more matches, because 45 minutes for 2 matches, yeah, that's crazy. Because I don't like how they switch them out. So if 2 people matched, leave it at the remaining people that are left. Don't bring in other people, because then, you know, other people could have potentially matched with the previous contestants.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'd watch it again. It was a lot more tolerable this time. I'd watch it again.
Okay. All right, y'all. Peace.
Bye.